Hello, welcome to the Lunch and Chat with Leslie broadcast. I'm your host, Leslie Parker. It is an honor, as I always say, to be able to stream informative, educational, and entertaining segments to you every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Although I'm a little late, it's only 7:15, but I'm glad you did stay close by and you did stick around to see this broadcast. This is a new talk show that I put together for you and the community, and tonight's broadcast is going to talk about how to have a successful book signing or book sales event. Now, are you an author or do you know someone that's an author? Well, if so, tonight's broadcast will provide some great tips, and we'll have also a special guest who has had a tremendous success with meeting people and getting people to support his book. Believe it or not, I wear many hats, and I'm an author as well. I never thought that I would be able to become an author because I thought I had to be famous or I had to be well known. But see, God showed me something different. No matter where you are in life, He can do so many things with you. So before I bring on my special guests, I want to talk to you about having a book signing event. So I'm going to show you just a couple slides of a book signing event that I had. And if there's anyone that's out there, they're ready to publish their book or they're ready to, at least get it started, I can at least give you some tips on how to have that successful event. So bear with me. I'm going to show you some of the pictures that I had at my event. Okay, those are just a few of the pictures that I had at my event, and I want to talk to you about what it takes to have a successful event. First of all, you have to be able to market yourself. Now, I had never been an author before. When I wrote the book, it was back in 2016 when I decided to put it together. And I did what most people do. I asked questions. I got on Google and just to find out whatever event that would fit me. Remember, there's no one size fit all book signing events. I don't believe that it has to be so serious that you have to go everything by the book. It's not always by the book. It's about what you're feeling, what identify you in terms of doing this book signing event, because it depends on, to me, what the book is about, your audience, who you want to reach. So what I did initially, before I even got started, I did reach out to my publisher and I asked them to send me some marketable products. So I'm going to show those to you. Give me 1 second. So I asked them to send me some marketable items. I got some postcards here. That kind of like tells a little bit about myself, a bio. I had a picture of the book. And then they also sent me these little cards. If anyone wanted to get an ebook, they could just take this card. Of course, depending on whatever you want to price it for, I can talk about that later on when we have another segment about publishing and how to price your book. And I also did a nice little runner here. This runner I got from this place. It's called Table Runners. I can share that with you. And I put this together. It had a big picture of my book here. We also had some bookmarks. So bookmarks are very important when you are having a book signing event. It's like a leave behind. And let people know a little bit more about just a little and a little bit about yourself. Okay. I had some little favors here. I got little bands where it says Break the Cycle of Pain. The name of the book is Cycles of Pain. So I got these wristbands. I got those online. and a few other things here. And I got some pens right here too. So I don't know where you are in life in terms of writing a book, but I'm gonna tell you, it's the most rewarding thing that you can do for yourself. Don't worry about people judging you. They're gonna judge you anyway. I mean, they judge God, you know what I mean? So when people get to the point where they're judging you, they wish they were you. This is the way I look at it. They wish they had the nerve or just the gumption to do some of the things that you do. And as I said to you, I do wear many hats, and I enjoy coming on the broadcast every Tuesday to share information with you. But I'm going to cover some of the tips for book signing and publishing probably in the month of August. But I do have a special guest. He's going to talk to you about how to have a phenomenal book sales. So without further ado, I want to bring my guest on to you. Come on. All right, hello. None other. How you doing?
Hello.
Pleasure,
hello,
pleasure,
hello.
Pleasure.
Nice
right here we have this phenomenal gentleman. I'm going to put a banner on. I forgot. Let me remove ourselves from the broadcast so they can see your picture and a little bit about your information. Okay, we're back. Thank you. We have here today Patrick Parker, aka Sergeant Pushup. He's an author, he's an advocate for kids, a mentor, a veteran, and an entrepreneur. And he's going to talk to you a little bit about his success with his campaign. So I'm going to show some pictures. Can I show some pictures first of just where you've been?
Yes,
okay, so let's show some pictures. Give us just a Okay, great, phenomenal. It looks like you've been everywhere. Yes, I appreciate you, coming on the broadcast. Can you, first of all, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and what you have done so far? I know you've been engaged. You were at a parade, right? Sykesville parade.
Yes.
So can you talk about that parade? Because we did share some of those pictures for the parade. So you can go ahead.
So the Sykesville, first of all, how are you doing today? The Sykesville parade is a parade that I was invited to, sharing the 4th of July. So in this particular parade, I happened to give away hundreds of my books. And during this parade, I was asked to come and to share my movement. This to be a part of the parade, which I had been part of several years before. And the thing that I want people to understand in my journey, it wasn't something that It's like a military service. That's what I'm doing. It's like a military service, and I want to help children in any way that I possibly can. So that's how the Sergeant Push-Up campaign started. I know that I had to create a character, someone that brings a lot of fun, a lot of people to laugh. So that's what happened with Sergeant Push-Up. If I jacks, hopscotch, or any of those things. And I always did things that I didn't see anyone else doing. And I think that's one of the problems that we have. When you want to do something, don't look at what somebody else is doing. Think of a uniqueness about yourself, something that I can create and I can do. Hey, you know what? Boom! I like this. Well, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to make something happen, and I'm just going to do everything I can in order to get my information out there. And I think that's what I was able to do with the Sergeant Push-Up campaign. A lot of times we depend on our family and our friends. We say, hey, I got a book. I got this. I'm selling this product. I have always been one that's, listen, if you're going to do it, just go ahead and do it. So I traveled the country. I started from Maryland in January, and I just got back maybe a week ago. So I've been on the road for months, talking to people, doing 1,000 push-ups at every location to bring awareness to the needs of children. We have the 13 million plus children that don't eat every day. My book is on germs. Obviously we're going through the virus, the coronavirus. So the title of my book is Sergeant Push-Up Talks to the Kids About Germs. And so what I would do is talk to people, talk to businesses, share what I was doing. They would sponsor the books, and I would move off to the next city. And you can't be afraid to get out and just jump and go. You can't just stay in your circle. If you want to get out there, you're going to have to get out there. It's not just your circle. And that's something that I've never been afraid to. You might be a little nervous, but I push myself in order to get out there and say, hey, listen, I'm going to go in different cities. I know that, listen, I was in Iraq. I went there, and that was 10,000 miles away. Surely I can travel the country. And that's what I did. I took this book, a lot of prayer, and I said, I'll be there. And I was able to travel from Maryland all the way down the East Coast, all the way out to Florida, all the way out to California, doing 1,000 push-ups at every city that I went to, 1,000 plus. And I was able to help a lot of children and able to meet great people. Well, this band, rock band, happened to let me travel with them. And you have to get out there. You have to get away from your circle of people in order to learn other people, because your circle of people are only going to purchase so many amount of books. And then some people in your circle might not want to see you prosper. So you have to get out there and travel, and don't be afraid to get out there and travel. So that's never been a thing with me. And that's what I charge you to do. Whatever you want to do, whether it's selling a product or your book, like I did, get out, travel, get outside of your circle and reach the audience that you want to reach. You'll be surprised of all the great people that you'll meet across the country.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that was fantastic. I just wanted to give you some time to talk to the viewers. I'm really impressed with your story. I know a little bit about the story because I know your first book, Sergeant Push-Up, came to me and said, hey, Les, I want to know what you think about me writing a book. I said, why not? Why wouldn't you think about writing a book? I like the way that, you build your character. So it's all about branding. So Sergeant Push-Up character was formed. What year did you start the Sergeant Push-Up character?
He came into existence almost the end of 2016.
The end of 2016.
Yes.
And when he first started with this character, I thought, oh man, Sergeant Push-Up, that'll never go anywhere. So that's why you got to be careful what you say to people, because what God has for you, it is for you. Okay, it's not for, it's for them rather. And whatever he has for you, it's for you. So stop trying to design someone else's life. And I had to really take a good look at myself and say, you know what, Leslie, focus on what you are good at. And Sergeant Pushup was able to focus on some things he was good at. Very good with people. When he said that he would go out and get people to do certain things, like, what did you do? You have them do sports,
hopscotch, jump rope, double dutch, just a little bit of everything. And one day I was able to get about 600 people together, and people were like, wait a minute, who are you? I'm Sergeant Pushup. And you just have to get out there and meet people. And the amount of people that I've met across the nation is just phenomenal. And you can't believe everything that you see and hear. And you got to step outside of your environment. And that's what I did. And it took months with me traveling and going what I'm doing. It wasn't just me dropping off something. No, I went there, I shook hands, I talked to people, and years with developing this character. But once I'm in something, I'm in it. When I went to Iraq, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to fly back home on the weekend. No, you're 10,000 miles away. Yeah. So once I created this character, I wanted him to bring awareness to the struggles of children. There's food, there's bullying, and there's the coronavirus. That's what happened with that. And so by having this character and developing him, Sergeant Pushup was able to go out and do a tremendous amount of things and meet some phenomenal people while traveled on this tour. And we're still not finished yet. We still got a little bit more to do, but this campaign is a military term. So that's what I was doing with this. I would say that I would serve a military term for children. And that term is about to end now, and I'll reevaluate and I'll go from there.
Excellent. And also want to talk to the viewers about how, you put together, and you pretty much, even though you didn't do the illustrations by hand, but you visually wanted to have your illustrations put together to show the children your first book, which was the bullying book, right?
Yes.
Which I thought was really phenomenal, because we have so many kids that are still being bullied. And some kids have committed suicide, unfortunately, because of bullying. So when it talks about giving back to the community, being a community advocate, you are advocate for kids. I remember, going to school, going to Towson, and it was, I guess, speaker, or the speaker said, the main thing that you can do, or the most important thing you can do, keynote speaker, said, is to be part of the community. And that's what I have the show for, is to make it a community base. It's not for me to shine, although look, I'm a very entertaining type person, but it's really to get some information out to you. And the information that you've shared about what you've done, I know you've had to let people know that when you write a book, you're going to have revisions, you're going to go back again. It is a process. People look at the finished result and say, okay, it's only 20 pages. Well, those 20 pages took a lot of work. My book, I think initially I started off with 2-something, but then I had to change some things around, and then it went to like 100-something pages. Then you got your illustrations. So I do want to let people know that there are different publishers that you can use. I did use this publisher called Exiblis, and I did like them. But now that I've been introduced to the publisher that Sergeant Pushup uses, it's called, what's the name of your publisher? That publishes book. Is it Diggy? Diggy? Isn't it Diggy?
Yes, Mr. Pod.
Digipod. Okay, yeah, Digipod, and that's for self-publishing. So that's a very economical way to publish your book. Exiblis is just like, let me tell you, just like real estate. You find a broker, and maybe they're going to take 50% of your money. Some may take 10%. Now, Exiblis does take a pretty percentage of money, but you also have a marketing team behind you. So that's why I chose them, because I needed some help. So I just want to put it out there for you. If there's anything that you're thinking about writing, stop putting off, stop procrastinating. You have what it takes to write your book, to tell your story. And if it's not about anything particularly personally, it could be just something that you might want to write about, just the impact that this coronavirus has had in your life. Or you might want to write something just about your relationship with your family. whatever it is, you really should think about writing. Now I'm going to go over Sergeant Pushup. It looks like we have a couple of comments here. So give me a second. And let's see here. Okay. We have someone here. We have Gail Jackson Tucker. She is a very good friend of mine. She said she is so ready. And I know she's ready. She already has the title. She already has pretty much the manuscript put together. And I'm going to cheer you on, friend, whatever it takes. I know you're ready because we're ready for you. And any help that you need, you know you can reach out to me. And look, even Sergeant Pushup, he knows how to market his book. So he's really good. All right. We have another comment here. We have Tawana Tiller. Oh, wow. I'm glad you love it, Tawana. I really appreciate you tuning in and being one of my viewers. You're very supportive, and I'm glad that this was very informative for you because I know that you're working on your book as well. So I want to just put it out there for you, Tawana. Go for it. Do what you have to do. Just put it on the calendar. That's what I did. I said, you know what? It is time for me to write my book, to get my book published. So I did have what's called like a milestone chart. I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And from there, you know, the ball was kept rolling. Now, I will tell you, I have another book coming out, and I'm dedicating the book to my sister that passed away. But the book has already paid for the book. And it's interesting, the next day that she went to have surgery is the day that I was putting the book together, and my sister kept saying, what are you doing? You're always on the phone. You're always on the phone. Well, I wanted to surprise her. So that was my surprise for her. And I'm still, even though she's not with me here physically, but spiritually, when I write this book, you're going to find out. I'm going to put all my heart and soul in this book. And I've already paid for the book, like I said, but I have time to put it together. It's been a couple years. And I just don't like to rush things. So when people say, hey, you write a book in 10 days, no, take your time and write the book because you want it to come out the way you want it to come out. So we have someone else here that I would like to bring on. Give me 1 second. Oh, hello, Julie. Hello. She said, thank you, Sergeant Pushup, for your perseverance and passion to make a difference. My God, continue to bless you on this journey of changing lives. Absolutely, Julie. Absolutely. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, Julie, and is it okay if I tell the viewers, you know? Yeah. Well, Sergeant Pushup and I, you know, we were married before, but we're still very close friends. And when he wanted to start the book, he asked me to help him with this. That was his first book. And he sold his car, and he called me. He asked me for a ride. He said, could you pick me up? I was at work. I said, pick you up. Now, mind you, you know, I'm like, I'm not married to you. I'm not picking you up. So I did pick him up. God had pierced my heart and said, I didn't know what it was for. And when he told me he sold his Mustang, I said, are you crazy? I said, why did you sell your Mustang? So what was that for you? What made you, I just have to ask you again, sell so my viewers can understand. What made you sell the Mustang?
Whenever we want to do something, we always look for people to help us. Hey, can I get you to help me? And then we will get frustrated about people not helping us. But what are you willing to give up? Now, I love Mustangs. I love them dearly. And that was my only mode of transportation. But, okay, so that was my money. That was the money for me to start to bring the awareness that I wanted to bring. And I had met someone that had helped someone from Maryland that's very famous, that's been in Hollywood. And when I asked them and told them what I wanted to do, they said, well, I'm not helping anybody else because this person that I helped, they made it to Hollywood and they threw me to the side. And I was like, wow, that didn't have anything to do with me. I'm saying it to myself. And I said, you know what? No problem. I sold my Mustang. I used a Mustang to start this program, and I used the money to trademark the name. And you want to definitely trademark your name. I do not believe in doing anything. If you believe in yourself, you can purchase other stuff. You can purchase cars, purses, anything you want to buy that you think that is important. That's something that you like. Well, you like yourself. Purchase your name. Trademark your stuff. Do not have your stuff out there and you not trademark your passion. So whatever book you want to do, or whatever, if you have an invention, trademark your name. Do not bring it out. The first thing I did when I first started with Sergeant Pushup, I remember going to a game and it was thousands of people there. These two kids came down. Hey, that's a cool name. Did you trademark that name? Wow. These two kids at the University of Maryland. I said, I sure did. I sure did. That Mustang was gone. Yes, I did. Okay. So you want to make sure that you do that. And when people see that you're passionate about that, 5 months later, a gentleman who's no longer here, he sponsored me a vehicle. He sponsored me a vehicle that needed some work, Mr. Charles Whitehead. Yeah. And Mr. Charles Whitehead was a veteran as well. And he's like, listen, I'm going to fix the vehicle. But before he could do that, he had passed away. So I rode that vehicle all the way up to 304,000 miles. And I fed almost 400,000 meals from selling a Mustang, believing in what I could do, not knowing anyone. Said a creative character, and I've gotten 400,000 meals. I've given books on bullying the kids out. 3,069 kids attempt suicide every day. Before the coronavirus, I was doing 3,069 push-ups, and I got caught in Dallas when this virus happened. And my mother was like, you need to bring your butt home because I'm not flying out to Dallas to get you if you catch this virus. So when I got back to Maryland, that's when I created the Sergeant Pushup talks to kids about
that's
germs.
Right. Okay, you didn't have it then. See right there, just being creative and thinking outside the box. What could be done? And God used many of us, I'm sure, during this pandemic to become creative with our businesses, anything that we can do to help other people get through whatever it is. And we all have suffered, in different ways. But remember, you and I were talking about, even though it has been hard, but it's been a blessing because it gave people the opportunity to come together when we were on lockdown, to really just appreciate one another and to understand even the fact that, those, unfortunately, there were some people that lost their loved ones, and still hold those people up in prayer. I know it's hard for you, but the old saying, God, lean not to thy own understanding, but always acknowledge him. God will bring you through this. That's why, I try to do this broadcast if I can every Tuesday. There's sometimes I'm not able to do it. Case in point, now tonight, I had another special guest, but he texted me and said that he was at work. Unfortunately, had heard some bad news that he lost a loved one, and then someone else is in the hospital. So please, let's keep him in prayer. As Dr. Sloan, we are praying for you and your family. I know this is a difficult time, and he was a little bit upset that he couldn't do the broadcast. I said, hey, don't worry about it. God will make a way. And then that's when Sergeant Pushup, well, he was going to come on next week, but I asked him if he didn't mind coming on today. And I do thank you for wanting to do that. This podcast is meant to, like I said, to inform you. And I do have, before I forget, I do have another comment here, and I want to show it. I try to show all my comments from my guests. Hello, Marsha Haywood. Oh, thank you. She says, hello, cuz always informing. Well, I believe that that's what God wants us to do, is to inform each other, to touch lives, to change lives. But tonight, I want you, after the show is over with, if you are thinking about writing that book, whatever the book is, whatever the title, and I want to give you some suggestions. Even if you don't have the content, whatever, together, write down a list of titles that you've been thinking about writing a book about. And from there, from the title, you can create your storyline. You can figure out who's going to be in the book, whether it's going to be fictional, non-fictional, it doesn't matter. But if there was something else that you wanted to say.
And sometimes it's just the point of just doing it. The movie Rocky, Sylvester Stallone had, he went to the boxing match with Muhammad Ali, and one of the citizens, he gave an opportunity to box. Well, after Sylvester Stallone came from that fight, he sat in his chair for 20 hours and he wrote Rocky after that fight. And what Rocky, that brought him millions and millions of dollars, but he came home and did it. So don't let anyone deter you from doing what you need to do, and stop. Don't procrastinate. If you feel it in your heart, stop, do it right then. Don't look at the time and just roll. You never know what you might have. Look at him. And this was in 1978 when he wrote this book. And that book, that movie, excuse me, he wrote the book first, the script, but it's 20 hours. So you never know. Just go and take the time that you need to do and believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself and be willing to use your own money, because no one's going to believe in what you're doing. They see you out here eating crab cakes, see you partying and this and that, and then you want someone else to put money in something you won't even put in. There's two things people want. They want time and they want money. And you have to be willing to do that if you want someone else to invest in you. And that's something that I've never been afraid of, to work hard. I put a lot of time and I put a lot of gas, thousands and thousands.
That must be, you know what, I've noticed that people that have been in the military are very disciplined. And I can honestly say that about you. You're very disciplined when it comes to finishing certain things. When he has to put his video out or whatever, I'm like, certain times I got to get out at 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever. So some of these things, I thought it was cornball, whatever. I didn't understand. Why do you have to do this? What is that for? But for someone that has just is an ordinary person with extraordinary ideas, he's been able to put some very unique things together. And I know you said down the road that you're going to work on doing events. You always attend several different events throughout. But I know I was talking to you about, hey, you know what? You're well known. I know you said right now, the information, how many people roughly know you?
It's quite a bit, a couple million.
Okay. So a couple million. That's because he did travel out of the state of Maryland. Sometimes you got to leave your comfort zone. And I've been stuck here, and I'm going to do it sometime this year or next year myself. You've got to be able to trust yourself, believe in yourself, trust God, first of all. God is not going to take you someplace where you're not going to be able to handle it. But I do know that you're very disciplined, and that's part of it. I remember I had a gentleman on, was talking about exercising. He said, you know what, you can motivate people all day long. But motivation is good. And what happens with motivation, you're here. You're motivated. You're here for a while. Oh, yeah, I feel great. I'm motivated. I'm going to do this. But right now, you have to put in the work and you have to become disciplined. So what I'm saying to you, viewers, tonight is to please don't let your dream book, don't let that information just go by the wayside. There are people out there that want to hear your story, to hear about the phenomenal things that you have to offer. So I hope that this segment of the Lunch and Chat with Leslie show has inspired you. And I hope that you come back next week. But I do want to share a video. You have a video from your Facebook page, right? That you did for us, the parade.
Oh, yes.
So before I wrap up, I'm going to show you the video. So give me 1 second. Excuse me. Now I think I have here from your page. Okay, we're just finding his page here. There we go. All right. Wonderful. Okay. So here. And where's the video? Oh, right here. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully I can share this. Okay, thanks for your patience. I'm just going to put the link here, and then I'm going to copy it for you. All right. Come on. Where is that link? All right. This is the link right here. Hold up. It's coming together. It should be this way. Here we go.
Giving out the Sergeant Push-Up, talks to kids about germs.
I'm gonna start all over.
There you see a Sergeant Push-Up and a Sergeant Push-Up mobile, part of the Sykesville parade. Giving out the Sergeant Push-Up, talks to kids about germs to children everywhere. Thank you, Mr. Chase, for helping me give out hundreds of books to all the children that were out and a part of this wonderful event of Sykesville, voted the greatest city in America. Couldn't do this without the local businesses as well. As I said, we gave out hundreds and hundreds of books. Thank you, and thanks to that great group. And a special thanks to the baddest band in the land, Velcro Pygmy. Sergeant Push-Up, appreciate you. Tan Hut.
All right. Okay, great video, right? Very nice.
And even the group, that band right there is a band that I never knew them before. And it's, I was in Dallas, and I asked to be a part of an event, and I've traveled with them quite a few times, and they're very well known, but they didn't know anything about me until they Googled me. And once they saw my commitment, and again, people are not going to follow you if they don't see your commitment. You have to be willing to spend that money and time. But before you do anything, you can write your book, you can do your invention and all, but always trademark your name. Always trademark your name. And it isn't as expensive as people think. It's not cheap, but if you can spend money on other things, spend money on yourself.
Absolutely. You're right. We spend money on what we want to spend money on. And I did have one more person here that came in. Hi, Lisa. Wow, I haven't heard from Lisa in a while. How are you doing? Thank you so much for coming on the broadcast. I appreciate you. We're going to have some more information the rest of the month. You got to stay tuned. It's a great lineup, so I do appreciate you coming on. But I do want to talk, before I let you go, I want to talk to you about some things that I'll be talking about in the next couple weeks. We will have some more publishing information. Also, I have a guest from the UK that reached out to me, wanted to come on the broadcast. It was about mental health, mental wellness. And I told her absolutely, because I did do a segment last year on it. And I've been meaning to do kind of like an anniversary segment, because I've been doing a Lunch and Chat with Leslie show for a whole year now. It's been a little over a year, like a year and a month, but I would not been able to do this if it wasn't for you, for the support that I have. And I thank you. And trust me, I'm a giver. So whatever God gives to me, I'm going to make sure I share it with you. So I thank you. Again, we have another person. I have to bring her on here. So Nicole Jackson, great motivational story. Excellent. Great. Thank you, Nicole. People coming in. But we do want you to share, because I say to you all the time, sharing is caring. If you care about someone, you will share the information. If you don't, it will show. But I do thank you, and remember to make every day count. Let's go.
Every day count.
10 Hut. All right. Thank you.